and the president talked to Justice Breyer? Have they had any communication today?
I don't have any more details of their communications.
I wonder if you can clear this up, because there seems to be some disagreement among some legal scholars. Is it your understanding and the understanding of this administration that the vice president can be the tie-breaking vote to confirm a nominee to the court?
I would have to check on the specifics of that.
And just one more on the president's Supreme Court commission. I believe they finished their report. They turned it in last month. Has the president had a chance to review this? Might we hear from him on any decision or input that he's had?
He has received the report. I don't have any update on his analysis of it at this point in time. Go ahead.
Take you somewhere completely different.
Okay, let's go there.
The China bill.
Yes.
Which the president last night in a statement said he's heartened by the bipartisan work on the package, which it was in the Senate, not so much in the House. Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman McCall said it was absolutely not bipartisan, will likely garner no Republican support. Are you guys involved in, and if so, in getting this to a bipartisan package eventually? And what are your priorities in that 3,000-page bill, since it is pretty long? And is your timeline the State of the Union? What are you looking at here?
Well, I would say first that it did receive extensive bipartisan support in the Senate vote, right, in the Senate version. That our objective is, certainly remains, ensuring that this passes as soon as possible and the president can sign it as soon as possible. I don't have a new deadline or timeline for you. We believe that bipartisan competitiveness legislation will help us tackle supply chain issues and inflation head on, and will make investments in American manufacturing and our economic strength so we can outcompete China. And we're certainly advocating that and have been advocating that and deeply involved in conversations with the House and Senate. And our objective is certainly that to have legislation passed that can take a range of steps, strengthening R&D, boosting manufacturing with important and imperative funding for chips, manufacturing chips, so we can make sure we bring down the cost of cars, as we know, which is leading to 1/3 of the inflationary pressure out there in the country. We want this legislation to help businesses and communities in every corner of the country outcompete their global competitors. In terms of specifics, as you noted, it's quite a long bill. We're certainly involved and engaged in it with officials from throughout the administration, but I'm not going to detail specifics of what we're for and against in it either.
Is there any possibility that, should this play out, you know, sort of similar to the infrastructure bill, take a long time, House Republicans will not get on board, that you, given the pressure of the chips shortage on inflation, that you just take out the strip out the chips portion, pass that individually, and then negotiate on the rest? Do you see that?
I'm not going to make a prediction of that at this point. I mean, as I understand it, the status of the legislative process is that both the House and the Senate have indicated that it will go to conference and they'll work out disagreements that they have over components of the legislation. Also, the Senate version had 68 votes, and certainly we believe that increasing and improving America's competitiveness and investing in R&D, research and development, and making sure we're more competitive in communities across the country is not a partisan idea. So we are hopeful about that process moving forward quickly, and the president would certainly like to sign it as soon as possible.
And then one more on this bill too, that is a difference between the House and the Senate version. The House version published last night had this outbound investment screening mechanism that wasn't part of the Senate bill. It would potentially block investments in countries like China. Does the White House support this provision, and will you fight that that's going to make it in the final package that's reaching the president's desk?
I'm not going to get into specifics of the bill. I would tell you that we are in daily contact from the White House with House and Senate leadership and committees, and we're discussing the path forward, but we're not going to negotiate the pieces from here.
Anything you can tell us on the work the executive branch is doing on exactly that same thing? Because Jake Sullivan has been talking about a potential mechanism like this being interesting to you guys and potentially working on this, but we haven't heard about it in a while.
I can see if there's any additional update from the national security team, of course, and certainly I know he's talked about that in the past, and it remains a priority. Go ahead.